Hello, and that is not professional. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to DG360. You're probably wondering where I was at. I was hiding. I have invisibility and camouflage. I decided to just appear in front of you. And hello. Hi there. I'm now visible to everybody. Okay, so we're going to our community tab here. And the great thing is 427 of you voted. This was a big vote. First, let me preface this with a small disclaimer, even though we had a disclaimer. Now we're going to do another disclaimer. I know you guys can't wait for more disclaimers. Thank you, Kappa. This message brought to you by the FTC. No, so I would like to say this, that we know that some of these things that we're voting on in this poll are going to be in the roadmap. The purpose of this is not to counter that information. The purpose of this is to get a read in my community of what people, what citizens, what DG fans think is most important in terms of Star Citizen and the project in their heads. I want to see where they're at in their headspace. I want to literally crawl through their ear. I want to explore their cranium, and I want to just pick out the part that is most important to them when it comes to Star Citizen. It's gross. It might seem gross, but I will be gentle as I crawl into your ear. It's fine. Thinking about inner space with was it Dennis Quaid? Anyway, okay. So this question here. Here it is. How many of you are explorers at heart and are excited about new systems to explore in Star Citizen? How important is it to you over, say, making AI better, or more players per server dealing with server meshing, or better performance overall, SOCS, or older ship concepts getting flight ready? It's time to vote on what you want to see done and what's on the top of your priority list, citizens. Time to vote. And please take the time to explain why you voted the way you did. I will focus on making this a video topic. Here it is. I'm making a video topic, everybody. It's today. Oh, sorry about that. And featuring your comments on a future stream and video, like I always do. I always do that. I always want to make sure the family is represented. You understand? I get people commenting on the people that are commenting. It's a comment avalanche here, ladies and gentlemen. A comment avalanche. I'm buried under it, and I love it. I want to suffocate under the amount of comments that you guys have. All right. Commentception, says E-Rock. I know many of you will want to vote for more than one, and some are interrelated, but the poll only allows you to vote for one. And only gives you 5 choices as well. Thank you, YouTube, for your inadequate poll system. That's what she said. Oh, no, sorry. So what's most important to you? New systems, places to explore. Boom, let's look at this poll, guys. This is amazing. 28% of you. Now, this is out of 427 votes. It's a relatively small sample. It's a big one in terms of our community. I think this is our largest turnout yet for a vote. But we've got 28% of people wanting new systems and places to explore and exploration content. That was the winner. That was the winner. New places, which goes back to exploration being a huge issue. Now, I'll tell you what I voted after we go through the results here and why I voted the way I voted. Better flight mechanics, physics, flight-ready ships got a 14%. Falling in last place, more players per server, tying for that last place spot. Server meshing's very low. Interesting that server meshing that came out very low. Better overall performance with SOCS, we got 22%. And AI improvements, 22%. So that was our we got 2. Wow, look how this came out here. Holy shit. We got a tie for second and a tie for third. So first, wow, that is, wow. Wow, that's a close one. I mean, when it comes to the exploration, obviously that one's ahead by just a slight margin, but a noticeable margin. But when you're talking about the fact that SOCS and AI tied, and you're talking about the better flight mechanics and physics and flight ready ships tied with more players per server, and seeing that they tied, that's like when you're talking statistics like that, that's something that's highly unusual. So what did I vote? My vote was SOCS. In my opinion, in order to get to the point where we want this game to be, I believe that SOCS is needed. And then we can have more places to explore. So I kind of went a little bit more technical in terms of my vote, because in order for us to get more places to see, we need more places to load. So in order for us to get those places, and we need a competent SOCS system. And, we were promised it at CitizenCon. Chris said, you got it. So it's coming. And I'm really interested to see how stable it's going to be. And if they truly nailed it, that would be fantastic. Now, let's go over some of your comments here. And this is my favorite part here because you guys really explain. Old man says Russia interfered with this poll. Oh, no. Russia's into everything. God damn it. Russia, back out of here. No, that's okay. It's okay. If they're Russians in their inner community, we open our arms to you. We accept all peoples of the world. We are all earthlings. But if you're super political, just take a step back and breathe, please. Because we're all just trying to have a good time here. No politics right now. All right, Christopher Fehrenbacher says, SOCS is the linchpin in this machine. If you don't see that as currently more important than gaming mechanics, then you should watch some SIG videos on why it is. After they get that nailed down, then I want to see more non-combat gameplay. Too much of this game is about shooting shit, and not enough is about living in the universe. I personally think that I don't think that this game is about shooting shit, number one. I really don't think that. But I actually, you and I kind of agree as far as SOCS, Christopher. So we are definitely in agreement about that. JB says, I can't wait to try 3.8 with its new planet tech. Me neither. And we're going to go after this section of our stream. We're going to go into some wonderful pictures on Microtech that I'm going to show. So if you guys want, head over to my Twitch channel to watch that if you're watching on YouTube here. Let's see here. Let's see here. After that, turret AI blades, because I often play alone, so I have ship that I paid for with real cash, where half of its weapons I cannot use. So, interesting. He kind of gives his list. He gave us a list there. Invisible says, all the above, I'd say, but technically it does fall into better overall performance of the game and of the gameplay experience. Flight systems are vital, as is AI, but that again falls into better quality gameplay exploration, and new planets vital for added gameplay. Good comment. Good comment. They need to fix the flight system ASAP, says Pierre. I can't even do my key bindings before rage quitting the game as it stands. Seriously, roll back from 3.5. It sucks. It just does, period. No argument will convince me otherwise. Now, perhaps this will, Pierre. It can be rather sloppy at times, especially for those people that are mouse and keyboard. I will say this, and this is from personal experience when I had a flight stick that actually worked and I mapped it out correctly. Thanks to Buzz. It was a better experience overall. So I think a lot of effort needs to be put into this flight experience on the player side. I think in general, if you're just looking at the flight experience right now, what happens is that it's set to be a very casual cruise mode, if you will. And if you're a keyboard and mouse type of dude, what you're experiencing is not even 30% of what you could with a flight stick. My opinion. But I get you, and I love you, Pierre. Godzilla Master says, Mr. Bond, spy here, and if I can't get enough players in a server to spy on all of them, what am I supposed to do? Watch who you trust, he says. Ooh, that's kind of spooky. Godzilla. Godzilla's saying, hey, I want more people because I'm involved in espionage. Better keep your eye on him. He's right, dudes. Oh my God. And please, if it gets to the point where the espionage is off the fucking rails like Eve, I'm gonna have a shit fit. Only because I saw a lot of that in Eve, and it almost wants to make me vomit. I've been there, I've done that. Godzilla, God bless you. You have a very hard path ahead of you, unless you can just write everything off to RP and not take it into real life, dude. So more power to you, buddy. More power to you. Windlord says exploration is the main focus I want to do in the game eventually. By the way, hi Wind, good to see you, buddy. It's always nice to see your comments. But I chose server meshing as what is most important. Without server meshing, there will be no great rise in player count, SOCS. By the way, wonderful comment over here by Buzz. Wonderful comment. And going back to the flight experience, he's right. And you can also see that in a lot of the videos by Tarada. If you guys, he's a French content creator. Tarada makes some wonderful tutorials on flight, and he does them in English sub as well. So you can watch it, and even though he's speaking French, he's put the text out for everybody in English. I highly recommend Tarada. He has mastered the flight experience. And if anybody wants to become a better flyer, the first thing that you do, and here's my opinion on flight. Sorry, Wind. Sorry. Here's my opinion on having a better flight experience. One, go to Buzzkiller's channel. Go to Buzzkiller's channel, and he has the most popular of the flight sticks out there, and he's mapped them for you. Buzz, that's why he's a friend of mine. Number one, he's a nice guy, but number two, the way I met him was through his videos. And after I mapped out my flight stick, boom. Now, of course, the flight stick has met an untimely end, and I'm very pissed about it, and I'm back to mouse and keyboard. I'm very upset about that. But Buzz does a wonderful job. So that's the first step. Go to Buzz. And then he's a really nice guy. The great thing about Buzz is after I went there, and then I just got to know him a little bit. Buzz is a super nice dude too, on top of it, which is awesome. And now I consider him a friend here. So do that first. Go to Buzz's channel. And then what you need to do is you need to go to Tarada's channel. And Tarada is a French content creator that makes some wonderful tutorials on how to fly. So that's my opinion on how to have a better flight experience for everyone. Thank you, Buzz, for mentioning that. I really wanted to get into that for people, because a lot of people aren't taking the amount of time to really give themselves the flight. It's a pain in the ass. Let's admit it. And that's why I love that Buzz does this for us. Buzz goes through the steps to make it easier, so it's not so much of a pain in the ass. And that's why, Buzz is just out there saying, here, guys, I know this is a pain in the ass. I'm really into this shit. Here you go. Actually, I don't even think Buzz thinks it's a pain in the ass. He just loves torture. I think he truly loves it. He's mapping this shit out. He sounds great when you're watching the videos, and that's just his cup of tea, And the great thing is he puts that information out there. It makes your job easier when it comes to mapping your own flight stick or sticks, and boom, you're done. And then go to Tarada, watch a couple of his tutorials on how to fly. And the flight experience improves by 100%. If you're using a mouse and keyboard and you're expecting a better flight experience, if you're using a mouse and keyboard, you're not truly into the PvP. And I know that's going to get a lot of heat. I know that's going to get a ton of heat by me saying that, but that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. And I believe that 100%. If you don't have your flight sticks, you're not truly a PvPer. And you got a mouse and a keyboard, you're going to lose 9 out of 10 when you're going up against another person that has a mapped out flight stick or sticks. It's just the way it's going to be. If you are casual and you're a trader or an industrial player, you got your mouse and keyboard. That's all you're going to need. And I understand that. I get that kind of gameplay. I totally understand that. And for most people, they're just going to be mouse and keyboard type people. But if you're bitching about a flight, and I don't know if this was your case, Pierre, and I'm not saying this about you, buddy, but if people are having bad flight experiences and they only have a mouse and keyboard, then that perhaps is the problem. Just saying. And I don't see a lot of people talk about that. So I just want to take some time to talk about that because I think it's definitely worth being said. So thank you, Buzz, for that comment. Let's move on because we've got a lot of comments to get to. So sorry, Windlord. Sorry. And thank you, Buzz. Windlord says, exploration is the main focus I want to do in the game eventually, but I chose server meshing as what is most important. Without server meshing, there will be no great rise in player count. SOCS won't do this, and there can be no MMO. Whew. So see, Wynn's focused on like, this is why this vote was so hard for so many people, because you could only choose one, and he's going into it looking at it saying, hey, if we want like, large scale battles and we want like a whole bunch of people, multi-crew and different types of ships together going at it, server meshing is going to be number one important. I see SOCS fitting in with that as well. So that's a difficult call for me. I see SOCS being essential for server meshing. It's almost like they're kind of like, linked together in a way. They do different things, but it's not an easy call to make. Wynn's going with server meshing. At the end of the day, I want to play in an exciting and full universe, not a pretty but empty quasi-single player game with the odd human encounter. Windlord, boom! That was just boom, man. I felt that. Orgs, territory, fights, guilds, and the potential of the game all rest on this. The rest are all nice to haves, which will come eventually anyway. Making a very strong case right there, Windlord, for server meshing. That was wonderfully succinctly put, buddy. Jonathan Thomas, I have to say SOCS is most important right now. I'm an explorer for the most part, but the system to create and generate new worlds must be implemented first. That's where I kind of stood. Right there with Jonathan. So yes. Zell, what's going on, buddy? Zell says exploring is a waste of time unless there's people to explore with. Disagree with you slightly on that because I've had my moments where I'm just solo mode, and I'm not a solo kind of guy. Like I like to have these experiences with other people and share them. But I think I disagree with you slightly because I've had my moments where I'm flying solo and I'm just enjoying what I'm looking at. But I get what you're at, Zell. Just look at No Man's Sky and how boring it is playing by yourself. This is a massive multiplayer type of game. Oh, snap. He's going with the server meshing. Yep. They need to make it massive multiplayer. You need to get more than 50 people in a server. I would say if they cannot accomplish thousands of people in a server, this game is DOA. I would agree. You're going to need a lot of people in order for this game to be the game that we want it to be. It's going to have to be, like I said in the last video I had done on the channel, it literally has to be a limitless experience. So what do we got here? Is that Pirate? Hey, Pirate. I think this is Pirate who joins us on stream here. Performance overall. No sense in creating new star systems with Nebula. Asteroid fields and cities if the game keeps crashing at spawn or if the game is at Polaroid level frames. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting any like staggering like I used to as much anymore as far as the actual hiccups between frames or low frame rates. I'm getting fairly high frame rates right now. Occasionally, during quantum transition phases, sometimes I'll get the hiccups. But yeah, I get where he's coming from on that. Wiz says SOCS is what I would like to see worked on the most, since that is a system needed to allow SIG to really move forward and expand development and gameplay. With SOCS, it would allow the development for all of the other things on the list to go much smoother, as well as help with the game stability and performance. Plus, SOCS is needed for server meshing anyways. That's kind of why I voted SOCS as well. That's one of the reasons why I also put that as my vote. All for exploration. And let me remind you, those especially coming to the stream late, that the top of this list out of the 5 things to choose, exploration hit the most. So I find this interesting. Digital 3, all for exploration. I would like more diverse planets rather than the basic empty desert. Snow also will need to up the player count, since the problem said below, the game will become too big and not see real players. You know, I don't think that the biomes that they're coming out with on newer design planets like Microtech are static anymore. I think they are becoming more diverse. And I think that what you're seeing as we're progressing with new planets coming online, new systems coming online, is that they will try to make the biomes more diverse, especially what we saw at CitizenCon when it came to the updates of Planet V4 Tech, and seeing how they could take large swaths of the planet and just literally, based upon the what were they, 2x2 panels, and I think one or two, no, and two, it was 4x4 panels with two by kilometer height, and they literally can paint large swaths of it with the type of biome based upon the humidity maps, which in the and the climate maps. So, you know, this new Planet V4 Tech, and I've done a video on the channel. I took the portion of CitizenCon where they were talking about the Planet V4 Tech. The details are there in that video. I won't bore a lot of you with that, but it looks to me like we're going to see more diverse planets, and much easier to deal with the production of them and pumping them out. Much smoother. I think you're going to start seeing them come out relatively quickly. You know, I think Pyro's the very beginning of this phase. We're going to see these systems come online much faster coming up in 2020. I would say you're probably going to see an additional system or two, and then after that, it's kind of going to go. But that's, you know, that's just speculation on my part. Let's see here. Hey, Win, what's going on, man? How you doing? We were just talking about you. Great comment, dude. Great comment. Field Hood Gaming says 50 players is not enough. I want this game to feel alive. So here we're talking about server meshing and how that's linked to SOCS. Field Hood Gaming saying, you know, the having people in the game is the most important thing. AI interactions will never be real, and the bottom line is that SC is a multiplayer game. I like the planets and the moons, but more they add, the more this game becomes a space desert. The community, and that's what we saw in Elite Dangerous. And yeah, that's a very, very valid concern. We want to have player counts very, very high. We're not going to have the amount of systems that Elite Dangerous has. We're not going to have the amount of systems that Eve has. We're not going to have thousands upon thousands of systems, which is good. For me, I want it a little bit more condensed. You know, like, I don't need all of that. That's too big of a playground. People are going to be spaced way, way, way far apart, and you're not going to have that real vibe. And yes, I know they're going to try and make AI simulated to the point where you can't tell the difference, but let's be real. That's not really nobody's done that. I've never looked at AI or an NPC character and gone, is that a real person? You know? So the thing is I like being able to see other human players around. Some people don't, you know, and that's just the style of gameplay. I think you're going to see a lot more human players in outlaw-based systems, and alien-type systems, in the more dangerous, seedy areas of Star Citizen than you're going to see in the UEE protected space. You're going to have people who are focused on PvE that like the NPC interaction, primarily hunkered down in UEE safe space, and then you're going to see people that like player interaction, PvP, and hanging out with other gamers in the outlaw type space areas. That's just the way it's going to be. The new prison systems that are inserted in the gameplay is putting bounty hunting and pirate gameplay at the top. I love it. Because, you know, pirates are going to tend to want to go to outlaw space. They don't want to have to deal with UEE NPC. They don't want to have to deal with all that bullshit, because their sec rating's always going to be, their crime stats always going to hit like 5, and they just don't want to deal with it. So they'll be in outlaw space. And that means that player bounty hunters and NPC bounty hunters, hopefully, will go after pirates in outlaw space, making that gameplay awesome. That's so fucking dynamic. I love that. And then dragging your ass back, you know, to lawful space. That's going to be fun. So anyway, I like the planets and moons, but more they add, the more this becomes a space desert. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with you, FHG. Absolutely, dude. So, we need the amount of players to fill up the systems that we're going to have. The community in SC is the most valuable asset, and we will not be able to enjoy each other's company and ventures with so many few people per server. I really hope that SSOCS changes this to some degree. Nice. All right, Jason A says, in my opinion, improved SOCS will inherently open the door to more players per server and improve the exploration experience when those systems come online. After that, they have far more ships since there will be more room, which will make the need for AI a real thing. Finally, good stuff. Chris Erickson, what's going on, Chris? My only worry about this game is the server meshing. It is by far the most difficult thing they are trying to pull off. He's right. Server meshing is a technology that, there's nothing out there like it. This is a roadblock. This is a huge roadblock. Chris was talking in an article that he did in the what was that website? The Intelligencer was the name of it. And Chris had spoke with the journalist there and said, he drew the analogy about how how gaming is in its very early stages in terms of what they're looking at to do. That he compared it with the 1920s in photography and how far the tech had come, and the fact that the things they were trying to do, they needed to update their tools with. And I think that the work that Cloud Imperium is doing is pioneering the way in gaming. I think what they're trying to do here is, right now, almost impossible, but they're showing us the progress, and they're showing us what they're working on. And to me, they've nailed down a few issues. I'm really curious to see what SOCS version 1 is going to be like. And but server meshing is a huge roadblock, a huge obstacle for them. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. We've talked about that a lot on the channel, Chris. And I am concerned. I'm legitimately concerned about that. That server meshing is something that's just we're not going to be able to do. So that's kind of like my fear for the project. So Chris brings that up. Good on you, Chris. Great comment, dude. Shane says, can't have more systems without OCS and server meshing. Can't have more sustenance. That's really funny. Ted says, hey, Ted, what's going on, buddy? By the way, Ted was the gentleman who shared with me Aurora Republic's video. And thank you, Ted. He's part of the Aurora Republic, and there was a great video that I'd put out. We were watching it on stream last week. It was emotional. It was really emotional. So Ted, thanks, dude. And I hope that helped out Aurora Republic. I see that their views went from 800 to 7,500, and I know we had a bit of part in getting that out there, and hopefully Cloud Imperium features that. So I wanted to thank Ted personally for making me aware of that. Thank you so much. Anyway, I chose better flight mechanics, physics, and ships, and it's a much deeper rabbit hole than you may think. We know from physics that the faster an object accelerates, the greater its mass. Okay, now we're getting into serious, real physics, and I've talked about this plenty. Like the speed limiter, the speed cap, the top speed cap. You're in space. You're in a spaceship. Why is there that is for gameplay? I mean, honestly, that's for the gameplay. If there was an unlimited amount of speed and you just kept shooting out like a fucking bat out of hell, then it's going to be impossible to have any type of real-time strategics or gameplay that may be fun. So that's the counter argument to that, Ted. I get where he's going. I get exactly where he's going, because it's that age-old argument of realism versus gameplay. That is such a fucking theme on a lot of games out there, especially those that are very heavily physics reliant, and I get it. Therefore, larger ships require a heck of a lot more energy to get up to QT speeds. And now consider that a Hammerhead goes so much faster than a Hornet. and like 3 times as fast. Yes, you have a bigger drive, but when you think of the mass increase to the Hammerhead versus the mass increase of the Hornet, so he's going over actual physics and like how much realism do we want, and we've talked about that on the channel here. There is a line at which, if this were ultra realistic, that some people would be turned off by the realism. And that's a little odd, because I know we're always fighting for that realism. I know we're always fighting for it here on the channel when it comes to like survival-based mechanics, these types of things. I know an economy. I get it. Like, we want it as real as possible. And when it comes to physics, this is a portion, like Crom said, and I happen to agree with him here. And Crom is saying realism is nice, but not at the expense of gameplay. So imagine you're trying to fight like in a PvP scenario, and a ship that has no limiter, like no top end, just it's like, how the fuck do you fight that? And is that fun? Like, would that be fun? And that's really what it comes down to, Ted. At least that's my side of the argument. I get what you're saying. And the logical brain up here says, yes, you're right. Like, I absolutely agree with you, but the gamer in me, the guy that's not thinking with his head, the guy that's not thinking with his head is thinking, come on, I want some fun, So that's a great, like, what you're bringing up, wonderful. And I think he keeps going down here and talking about this. And I get it. He says, just a thought, seems crazy. Small fighters can go faster in QT because physics. So now he's talking about QT. And when it comes to QT, yes. The physics of QT, and I think he's got a good point there. Night, Erad. Have a good one. Thanks. And I hope you're feeling better, dude. I'm sending out all the good mojo that I can for you this week. Erad, I love you, bro. I love you, dude. I hope you're doing good, man. I hope it worked. Awesome, man. Good news, dude. Good news. So anyhow, yeah, I get him on QT, but he says, just a thought, seems crazy. Small fighters can go faster in QT because physics, less mass increase, less energy. Redo the fracking lore on QT. Smaller ships, QT faster. It fixed everything. Moving on. He says, we saw morphologists redo the 600i in 10 hours. Why it takes a 5-man team a year and a half to make a ship boggles my mind. Morphologists, though, can talk about it, but can he actually work that's needed? So there is that portion of it. As intelligent as Morphologist sounds on his videos, his area of expertise is not coding, game design, these types of things. Anyway, good comment. Dig it. Appreciate it, Ted. Thank you. Not sure says, since SOCS first iteration in 3.8, I'm leaving it out of the equation and voting improved AI gameplay. Interesting. Now, I'm not quite sure what we're going to get with SOCS in its first iteration of 3.8, but it is a great comment. Not sure. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Something I didn't even think about till you said it. I knew it was coming, but I still need to feel it. I need to play in it. I need to see what the first version of SOCS is about. Are we going to get a heaping plate of disaster? Or is it actually going to function, at least in part, the way that it should? I think being able to use AI on ships will enhance the value of ships. Absolutely. I want some NPC crew. I mean, we've been talking about this since 2015. I definitely want to see more, like the ability to have NPC crew. I just saw a comment in the chat. And E-Rock says, I will say SSOCS is the biggest tech hurdle for the scale of the game. Also server meshing. Kaya, Eric, what's up? What's up, Kai Eric? We get more locations with the first version of S, and that's it. So basically that's great. That's great information. So what Kai Eric's saying is that, hey, this first version of OCS DG is really only going to give us the ability for more locations, and that's more objects. That makes sense. So that's really what we're getting in this first implementation, or this first iteration of SOCS. So thank you, Kai Eric. Prom says, I'm still holding out hope that our robot brethren will rebel against us. And FNG saying SOCS is simple compared to server meshing. E-Rock saying server tech and AI tech are hardest to hire for, and probably to play catch up for those people that are new and get them up to speed on exactly what they're doing to E-Rock. You know, I think that's a case. If you look at Cloud Imperium's site and you're looking at all the people that they're trying to bring on and employ, and they do cycle through people, they do cycle through employees. So that's anything. But anyway, let's get back here to these comments. Let's see. AI on ships will enhance the value of ships. We were talking about how I really want to see NPC crew, especially in turrets. Ships that have turrets. People that have bought ships that have a lot of turrets, or they just need particular areas in the ship manned. In an engineer seat, like the NPC being able to effectively engineer your ship the way that you want, the NPC effectively being able to gun in a turret spot the way that you want. In fact, I'm making a very bold and spicy prediction that most people will, even multi-crew with gamers, with other gamers, will still have NPC AI in turrets. I think that's going to be the norm. I think that will be the norm. And we talked about how NPCs work in a video we done a long time ago. We talk about all facets of it on the channel here. And I'm not a big NPC AI guy. But when it comes down to it, I am when it comes to manning those turrets on larger ships. So yes, good. Rexy, what's going on? Winner of our $25 harvestable contest. Rexy finding a harvestable out in the middle of nowhere, and it was a wonderful thing. I believe he's in the Philippines. So I love exploring and always excited for new systems and places. But before that, of course, we need better overall performance, which SOCS will bring. I saw another comment I liked. I'm reading your guys'. I'm multitasking right now. Buzz says, they need to make gunners more viable. Yes, I saw that out of the corner of my eye, Buzz. Absolutely agree with you. It is sloppy AF right now in a turret. Right now, it's more effective to have two ships than one with one or two gunners, etc. Absolutely, dude. HH is the exception, of course, he says. Yes. Borin Gar says, I'm really looking forward to exploration. It was the Carrack, after all, that got me into the game in the first place. But in the specific context of this list, I still have to go with performance. What good is exploring a place if you have to go there over and over again due to crashes and other technical issues? Boom. SOCS, so they can finish server meshing. I think the most important thing they can do is flesh out all the core systems that Star Citizen is going to revolve around. So core systems makes sense, Bob. Let's see here. Red Rum and Coke. Oh, if they were implementing all promised gameplay loops and game mechanics, including vast and varied missions option, I would smash that one until I broke my phone. It's coming. I think it's coming. And the leak that we posted out here from my friends Seer the Sixth and Execute over Info Runners sounds like they're going to give you those tasty loops that you require. Snow Fox, while I'm not an exploration type person, I do support those that are also more systems, more places to trade, haul, tour, so it's win-win in the end. Fox is great. Fox is almost here at every single broadcast. I don't know if he's here at this one, but I love Fox. Good dude. Hammer Dookie. What's going on, Hammer Dookie? I picked SOCS simply because, one, simply because once that's in a good place, the other things can get fixed faster. All right, Speakeasy. What's going on, Speakeasy? By the way, shout out to my friend Speakeasy. He has a wonderful Facebook page in regards to Star Citizen. AI is borked and has been from day one. It hurts my brain. Slight improvements. I've seen slight improvements, but yes, for the most part, I would agree. Borked. Very borked. Max power. The flight model needs to be fixed or set. The current model is all arcade. I'm surprised by its lack of importance to others at the time I voted. Max, if you're still watching, I hope you watch my little dissertation of the flight experience, and I hope that helps you. And like I said, you can go back to the beginning of the video because I go into length at that. Alex Pierce says, damn, went to scroll and it counted as a vote. Oh, Alex. Oh, you got a bum vote, man. While I'm an explorer above all, I think SOCS and flight model are the most important. The fact that I will cannot pin targets, break target lock, or use any of the terrain to my advantage post 2.6 is a huge issue for me. There's a couple things I disagree with that on, Alex, but I understand your pain. I enjoyed dogfighting in the past when it required spatial awareness and skill, but now it's just garbage for him. Interesting. He's having a terrible time, Alex. It's all meta builds with skill still playing a factor, but in the same way, adding a toddler to an NBA team will make up for being a player. Oh, shit. That was pretty funny, Alex. Sanguine Entertainment. Hey, what's up, Matt? Matt's in here on the channel. This is Warlord Matt. Shout out to my friend. Go check him out. Nice dude. You got to get making content again. Come on, bro. You got to make getting content again. You makes good content. It's been a year or two, I think. I'm on the record several times as being the it's in alpha guy. And I've openly stated that I don't play the game in its current state. That said, I like to see server meshing first from a development standpoint, and then OCS and AI. AI meaning all AI, combat and FPS, and all the trading and domestic AI. Personally, I want to see exploration last in development, not because I don't care about it, but because I do. I want to explore places with my friends as well as on my own when the game comes out. I don't want to know 80% of what's there, have a pre-developed meta, and more or less know everything before then. I want to be fresh. So fresh and so clean. Anything released now in the half game will not be fresh in the full game, robbing me of that exploration experience. I think 1.5 system tops should ever exist in any form of the alpha at all. Having more is like when all the good parts of a movie are shown in the preview, making the movie itself a disappointment. I want to eat a bag of potato chips, not eat one chip a week for a year, and then be awarded an empty bag. My hope is that exploration location content is being developed constantly behind the scenes. I think it is. Matt and I even talked about this years ago when we saw the leak about Terra. And I think we were the first at the time to put out that leak. And Matt had found a very juicy 3D model from Cloud Imperium and said, hey, DG, check this out. And we talked at length about the design of systems behind the scenes and the work that was being put in. If you guys want to check that out on my channel, you just type up Terra and you'll be able to see a city in Terra. And this was work that was being implemented nearly 3 years ago. So in my mind, the work is going on behind the scenes. I think Matt would agree with me on that there are systems that are being worked on, that have been worked on, perhaps needing to be fleshed out once again, but the base work is there. The actual ground level, starting from the ground up work is happening on all systems. And I don't think people are aware of that. And you can see that through the evidence of the video we had done over 3 years ago. So I personally think there is a lot of work that has been done, perhaps needs to be rehashed again with all the new tech, but that work is really being done. And that does not get talked about a lot and that goes under everybody's radar. And I really don't see enough people talking about the fact that the work is happening. So let's see. When the launch trailer drops, I want to see clips of things I didn't know about. So stay away from my leaks videos, Matt. Stay away from my leaks videos. Wes Ewing, thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful read, dude. Wes Ewing, I'm split between almost all these items. I like to see bugs fixed plus some new things too. Warlord says, Matt says, if they aren't, then I would not expect this game to come out for another 5 years. I think more is done than we see. Absolutely. I also think ships are made that aren't revealed either. That will never be for sale. That's a great point. That's a wonderful point. And then Jeff and Kai are having a wonderful discussion here. So like while I'm talking, we got more discussions over to the side. This is what I like. This is what I like. Dark Angel Gaming, what is going on, my friend? Guess I am greedy, but I want more than the usual places to take my shiny new character. But SOCS is still really close behind, so I have more than 30 FPS doing it. Love you, fam. Keep up the good work. We love you too, Dark Angel. We love you, dude. Thank you, thank you. Scott Johnson, without SOCS and some better coding on AI, we literally have beautiful places to fly around with very little of anything beyond that. We need better AI. So, and that's a very strong argument for AI right there. That's a very strong argument for focusing on AI. So wonderfully constructed thought right there. We need better AI so we can have better engagements on the surface of these beautiful planets. We shouldn't be cringing when a mission pops up where I'll need to use my gun, he says. Yes, 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 Scott. Good, good, good. That is a good comment, dude. Sean Ayers, what is going on, dude? I think it's ludicrous that SIG still hasn't put into production ships they have sold years ago. They need to find a way to make them happen. This is a complaint I see a lot. And this is for people especially who have bought concept sales long ago that are still in concept phase. And I get him. I understand his pain. I really, really do. I get where you're coming from, Sean. And I'm sorry, dude. You know, because I agree with that, man. There's a lot of things that have been in concept far too long. Far, far too long. And with the amount of focus they put on ship sales, you know, sometimes you would have to say to yourself, listen, I know they need another ship to bring in more money every month, it seems now. It seems like they're bringing out a ship or a concept every single month now. And a lot of time could be taken away from that and refocused back into the concepts that still need to come out, that need to be flight ready for people who have spent a lot of money on these concept ships. You know, take a break from a new ship and reinvest that energy and that manpower into concepts to flush out those concepts and to make them flight ready. It's only going to be positive for the game. Sure, you might take a dip on your sales. Sure, you might. But you're investing in your community. You're actually going to make out times 10 because you're putting that manpower into concepts that were promised that have not been delivered upon. And absolutely, I think that's what needs to happen inside Cloud Imperium. I'm all for that, Sean. So great comment, bro. And I'm fighting along with you for that. I can't tell enough people that. But I hopefully the message gets out there. See you, Matt. See you, dude. Have a good day, bro. Thanks for joining us here today, man. It's great seeing you, dude. Jason Giles, I would like to see more life in the current system before we expand outward. Oh, that's a valid point. We have one system, and sometimes I can go for quite a while and not see anybody. That's a wonderful point, Jason. I would also like to have the careers flesh out before as well. AI improvements would greatly enhance the realism. Boom. You guys got some wonderful, wonderful comments, man. You guys are raining down beautiful, beautiful comments. I'm loving it. I'm loving what I'm reading here. Warren says, tough question. I'm an explorer at heart, the kind of guy who spends hundreds of hours in Skyrim but never finished the main story and visited all the hidden places in World of Warcraft. Freak out. So my vote goes to places to explore, but I really think from an objective point of view, everything else should be more important for the game right now. A choppy tech demo with hundreds of pirates or hundreds of planets to discover is a niche game, a single star system with top performance, smart AI, realistic physics, and fun flight mechanics that can host thousands of players at the same time per server is something casual players would buy. Just the humble opinion of a non-native English speaker. Please don't judge me by my grammar. Dude, we don't judge here. We're not that type of community. I'm not that type of channel wearing, so don't worry about it, bro. We love you. We love you. You're part of the fam, man. You're part of the fam, man. Great read. Great read, dude. Great read. Black Dream Hunk 2 says, I want things to explore and do right now in Star Citizen while the devs work on the game. Yes. Yes. And I hope your day is going well, BDH. Sorry, I wish he's on stream right now. He comes on the stream quite often, so we miss you on stream, dude. Let's see here. The Titan says, I have to choose. I would go for the new system. That being said, the flight system was really good during 2.0 and before. After that, it slowly went downhill for some reason. Right now, it's getting better, but it's nowhere near where it should be. I don't know if we need more players. Right? Here's the thing. I talked about this earlier about the flight experience. Even with those, even though I said go to Buzzkiller Station and map out your flight sticks for better experience. I mean, the first question comes down to, do you have flight sticks or not? Okay. The next question comes down to, have you mapped them out or not? And then the following question is, do you understand everything you see in your HUD? In your MFDs, do you understand the technicalities of the ship and what the ship can do that you own? Do you understand the technicals? And then finally, have you taken the time to fly it in its optimal mapping and settings that you now know? So these are all the variables to get a better flight experience. Now, that being said, even so, flight experience, the flight system still could use a touch of work. I still feel disconnected. So this is something I did not talk about earlier. Even in its most optimal settings, sometimes I feel disconnected. I don't feel like I'm getting a true experience in an atmosphere. In a planet with an atmosphere, sometimes I'm not feeling it. I see some effects. I hear some sounds. I love what I'm hearing. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Get your contrails going off wingtips. You get that roar of the engines. But sometimes I'm not necessarily feeling it all. Now, they could improve that slightly. But for the most part, I think that people would have 100% better time with the flight experience if they went through that checklist that I just gave you guys. So yeah. I don't know if we need more players right now. I believe it should go hand in hand with the new system. SOCS is coming, so I am totally fine with that one. That's a really interesting angle. But like Kaya had said earlier, that SOCS is really just there in version 1 in the iteration that we're going to receive, only to see new places, which makes sense because they're focusing on the portion of the SOCS code that's dealing with more objects. Makes sense. So it gets a bit more complex than that when it comes to the loading and the interface between the memory and your actual PC, the chip, the CPU. But in terms of like the first iteration, it's going to be fairly simple as to what version 1 is. So I really need to experience it. Before I just dismiss like, oh, we don't need SOCS because it's coming. I don't want to be that dude. I want to like experience it. So I'm still saying SOCS because I want to see how it feels, how it's working. I want to see the actual tangible proof of what it is doing. That's just the way I am. AI needs a lot of work. And as far as I can tell, they stopped talking about their subsumption AI thing. So I am not sure what's going on there. Yeah, AI. I mean, that's just a big headache. AI is a big headache right now. I saw slight improvements from prior patch to 3.7. Slight. They're not as stupid, but let's be honest, they're still fucking stupid. And as one of our fans had said, it is currently borked. I agree with that borked argument. While the new system is quite simple, I finally started playing SC again after 1.5 years of being bored of it. It's fun again. This is exactly, I talk about this. You know, there's a lot of people out there that are negative on the game that haven't played it. And this is a wonderful example here. This is a great comment so you guys can see that, you know, people are having good experiences even though there's bugs and glitches. And so it's great to hear that. It's actually really wonderful to hear that. Lots of things to do like mining, trading, and exploring, but Stanton has been the backdrop of our experience in SC for 5+ years. I believe, and I am just as excited for Pyro as I was for 2.0. The experiences I had were completely different to any other game I have played. I hope that I will find the same experiences there. TLDR, Pyro system, because it's exciting. That's great, dude. That's great. I love it. I love it. Very, very in depth. Very in depth. I loved it. J Dubs, what's going on, J Dubs? Personally, I want more VAG. More places to explore and things to do. I think the other 4 are very important, but are things that come with the game maturing. As a side note, as a HOTAS user, I really don't see a big change in the flight model since the rollback of hover mode, and I'm beginning to wonder if this is more a keyboard and mouse issue. Thank you. Thank you, J Dubs. I'll put that one out there for the fam and you to answer. And I think we've talked about that enough. So thank you, J Dubs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's somebody who understands what it is that I'm trying to throw down here. Killian, thank you for your membership, bro. And respect that badge. Respect that monk mode badge. Thank you for being a member, my buddy. Let's see here. It says, all right, that's a hard one to choose. Of course, like everybody, I want every point to get done. But if I take on it rationally, it's the overall performance with PT 4.0. I'd say that the planets themselves look fracking amazing already. And V4 is going to even be better. I mean, the aesthetics, I believe we're going to definitely see an improvement in the version 4 Planetech. To put more of them in the game, we need better backend infrastructure and performance. And we're going to look at those pictures after this, by the way. So hang in there for everybody on the stream. Then everything has to be filled up with life, means realistic behaving NPC at bars, shops, selling food, or just hanging around and being able to do even make basic conversations. A big world, 50 ships, more 5-star systems, all irrelevant. If it isn't filled with life, then what do we got? So I get you, Killian. To do so, we need 1, SOCS, and 2, better AI, especially for the daily environment stuff. Boom! Oh, yeah, Malice from the Matadors. What's going on? Yar! Voted flight mechanics. But my priorities are new game systems, i.e. loot, salvage, repair, rearm, refuel. Stop here if you want. You know I won't, bro. You know I won't stop there. Gib loots. Being able to loot ships and players of their valuables, whether you jack someone's rucksack upon their demise or just jacking someone's rifle. That sounds a little kiki, Malice. What are you doing over there? Off their weapon rack after you stow away on a ship, and now it's yours. And you need to be able to trade that stuff around or store it in your hangar. He's wanting more types of mechanics that will support his style of gameplay, which is to be a pirate, and that's awesome. You know, he's like, hey, we need this style of gameplay for the pirates, and we all know that Chris is a pirate as well. Chris is endorsing the dangerous. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Which of course means wallet to wallet is in. Yeah, now wallet to wallet is coming in with the accountancy app coming, 4.0 or prior, I believe. We will see wallet to wallet transactions. We have talked about that on the channel. We are very happy for that. I think it'll give us deeper, immersive economic gameplay where you can actually start just trading money with other players for different types of security tasks or any type of like player created content missions that you want to give another player. This will open up the field to better experiences overall. What's up, Vegna? How you doing, my new mod? Vegna, props to Vegna. He just got knighted today. He's been here on every stream and helping out. Thank you, everybody. Round of applause to Vegna for helping me out as a moderator. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. Salvage, he says, this doesn't need to be fancy at all. Version 1, you blow up a saber and 337 survive and you snag them up. Or maybe a badass shield generator. Simple. Save the fidelity for later. Again, trading, selling to players is a must. Along with the dumping shit at Dumper's Depot for way less. Woo! That hits, dude. Yes. R&R. Again, keep it simple, V1. This will be tougher to do because you'll need to have ammo and missiles and commodities such as fuels physicalized. Yes. Dude, Malice is on point right now. These are all gameplay features that I agree with that need to be like in there to make the experiences better. Once this shit is in its game, even if it's version 1 and immersion breaking, player caps and server meshing will come in time, and SOCS is already in to a degree, so I'm not washing my vote on that. Personally, I could care less about AI and mission as a whole because, you know, he's more of a player. What happened? What just happened? Where's he at? Oh. Sorry about that. He's into the player versus player experience. Or the player to player experiences, which, you know, that's my major as well. Like, I like to interact with other people in the game. So this is what Malice is saying. I personally, that's of my opinion. I agree with it. I don't plan on running missions, and I enjoy collecting human tears. All right. Enac, what's going on, buddy? We need all those things, but we need better server performance before any of them. Otherwise, the more content we add, the worse the servers will perform, and the more 30Ks we get. Bracka. Yes, 30Ks, dude. I'm not really bothered what they say, so long as in the end we get a good, playable, fleshed out game. Yes. Whew, man. The comments are off the chain on this video. If you guys are still with me, kudos. Let's look down here. Whoa. Oh, we're almost done. I had to look because wow. You guys like showed up in force on this one. But I want to read through all your comments. So we'll go a little bit faster here because Jesus. Whew, man. All great points, though. Like, I like doing videos like these because it's bringing the community together. We're talking about these issues. Some new issues are being brought up. Some kind of concepts and games designs that are in question are being thought about in a way that I've never thought about. So it brings about really interesting discussion. I hope that these are being put towards Cloud Imperium, you know, as talking points, especially when they're dealing with design. I think hearing the voice of the community is super important. Joey says, I think places to explore are the long-term goal. I think better performance is best right now. Yes, Joey. Mirage. To that poll, I would add more PvE on moons and planets. At this time, there is no real reason to drive for hours to cross a pirate convoy or fauna like a Thanador a la Avatar to save myself from or hunt down. So AI is a big one to drive that type of gameplay. Now my choice of new systems just reminds me of 3.0 when I started to fly around with friends, and then when Hurston was out, SC 3.5, I truly explored the planet and its biomes with amazement. So this will be the same with the upcoming Microtech biomes, including whether that will be some sort of PvE if wind and sandstorms stop your progress in ship or walk or drive. Awesome. What's going on, Snow Fox? Everybody congratulate Snow Fox as well. I made him a moderator and Vegna, and I super appreciate all their help and their support. They're here on every single stream I do. And I absolutely love those two guys. Thanks so much for all the help, guys, and congrats on being knighted and having the sword at the ready. Eagle 6, what's going on, Eagle 6? A little off the descriptions. We all want more content, but I don't want it in the form of more empty art locations. He's making a point, and this is like explorers right now hearing this are like, you asshole, Eagle. I wouldn't say adding a new system is exploration. Not to me. Exploration to me is exploring gameplay loops. Oh, maybe the explorers are saying, wait a second, you're making sense here. I.e. finding loot, exploration gameplay loops, and harvestables. So I'm going to vote AI as it's the closest sounding gameplay loops. Kaya's asking if she can post a link. Sorry. You can only post links if you're subscribers. So if you want to subscribe, or you know somebody who's a subscriber, you can whisper them if somebody wants to help Kaya out, and you're a subscriber. Maybe help Kaya out if she can't, or he. I'm not quite sure if it's a she or he. Sorry, Kaya. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. I apologize about that. But if somebody wants to help out Kaya posting a link, then just whisper her and say, hey, I'm a sub. I'll post your link, and I would feel more than happy to have that happen. Anyway, but also subscribe because it helps out the channel. And Kai says YouTube channel of a guy who now works at SIG. Yeah, we know a lot of we know 3 people here from Cloud Imperium. One of them is Donnie, and he actually comes to the Inside Star Citizen live shows quite often. And I haven't seen Donnie around in a bit, but Donnie's a super nice dude, and he's part of the Cloud Imperium crew, and he'll sit with us and we'll talk. And sometimes he answers our questions when he can. So it's really nice. We know a couple people here from Cloud Imperium as well. And SOCS, yes, certainly. See if you can whisper somebody, or somebody can whisper Kaya about that link. That would be wonderful. Let's see. I can't overstate enough how important it is for me to be able to accept a mission. And when I go to said POI, it have AI to defeat. I know it's so simple sounding, but it's at the very core of really any game I can think of that you get to a P. Why am I having a problem here with POI? Why is that acronym like escaping me? Of what? Anybody I have any idea? Is this just a brain fart I'm having? The point of interest. Thank you. I knew his point of. I'm like, what does the I stand for? Point of interest. So let's read that again. I can't overstate enough how important it is for me to be able to accept a mission, and when I go to said point of interest, it have AI to defeat. I know it's so simple sounding, but it's at the very core of really any game I can think of that you get to a point of interest, and there's some sort of NPC to defeat. All right. John Henderson. Thank you, by the way, Eagle. Sorry, I murdered that read, by the way. John Henderson says, I feel like they need to have another go at hover mode mechanics. You know what? Yeah. As it is right now, you can flip whatever ship you want into whatever direction in atmosphere. It makes no sense for a hammer. This is talking about me, talking about the experiences I was having with atmospheric flight. This goes hand in hand with that. Yes. Patrick, I wonder if he's still here. To me, the AI improvements are about neck and neck in regards to exploration. There needs to be some kind of interaction rather to be friendly or dangerous other than looking for something cool to look at. Find a new cave? Careful, something lurks deep inside guarding something very special. I would like to see random events that will require better AI such as Vandal raiding parties. Hey, Krom's here. That's Patrick, by the way, guys. He is still here. Dude, you make some very, very valid points. Like, AI is one of those things that they could fix right now, and it wouldn't really need any additional work for in SOCS. Like AI is a category unto itself, and AI improvements would help the game experience right now. So I get where Patrick's coming from, and to me, it was a hard decision. Like this vote was a very difficult decision for me, but thank you. Great read, Patrick. Terminal Hamster. It's all great, but pointless if AI is useless. Even if the player pop caps at 50 people in one system, it can be way more fun with active and interactive AI. Like we got some pretty strong AI arguments happening here. The O1 Jacks, the O1 Yaks, the OJ Waniacs. Sorry, I'm axing your name, dude. Extremely risky, but rewarding exploration is the best. That's what I'll be doing in my Corsair. Oh, snap. Relic says, Relic, it's so good to see you, dude. Relic, a friend of mine on Twitter. He's got some great posts. He says, I'd imagine writing code for gameplay loops elements would have to be recoded, refactored once server meshing is done. And since full persistence as well as SOCS has to be fully working for server meshing to even function, those pillars are really dependencies for server meshing. So yeah, my vote is server meshing, because once we have that fully working, I'd imagine the gameplay loops and elements code would have to be rewritten less often. Server meshing seems so fundamental to what is needed to get the game where it needs to be. I was talking about this earlier, actually, We were talking about this, God only knows how long ago, but we were saying, or I was saying, similar things as well, Relic. Having and maintaining a live build during game development is a bit like taking the scenic route. Slower and lots of winding turns. Sure, fun though, he says. Kaya says there's a video where Tony and someone else is saying that the AI backend is really good. I think they call it subsumption, but they said they need more tech to showcase as well. And yeah, earlier on we were talking about how they're not really talking about subsumption as much. So that was a troubling talking point from one of our fans earlier on that we had read. Brandon Norris says performance and backend are required for all feature content of any game. All are important, including pledge funding and feature testing, but performance and stability has to come first as a foundation, which everything else is built upon. Vegna says, I'd love more systems to explore. With more systems, we have more missions, and different systems will have different laws like Pyro, so PvE players will love it. If we got a lawless and UEE system by the end of next year, I'll be happy. Kaza, what's going on, Kaza? He was here on stream the other day with us. While I feel the mechanics, AI, etc. are more important, I do want at least one more system before other things because of the gameplay possibilities that would bring. Buzz is saying server performance is the current bottleneck for AI as well. I have a feeling AI is going to get a lot harder in 3.0 with SOCS. It will be interesting. Like Buzz, I really want to see what this first iteration of SOCS is doing for that reason as well. That's a really good point, Buzz. You know, I really want to see what this first version. If what Kai is saying is true, then we won't see that. But I just have to experience it for myself. I really do, and that's one of the reasons why I did put SOCS as my first vote, because I think there's a lot that swings in terms of performance on SOCS, which is why I had worded it as such as one of the choices on the poll. So good comment, Buzz. Good comments. Shay, what's going on, Shay? I haven't seen you in a while, bro. I want best performance to explore new far systems and mine with no glitches and bugs. I can't wait one more year for all the rest. I hear you, dude. I hear you. Need it. We need it. RJ Williamson. Got to go with AI improvements. However, this is a Trojan horse choice for a better economy. Since the AI improvements, I would like to see our integration of Quanta with NPC behavior. Are they though? Are they, RJ? It's a great talking point, RJ. This will make the game feel truly alive and dynamic. That's a great talking point. And that might be something I'm gonna take some time looking into. That's a great talking point. Yeah, I might do that as a video. I like where he's going. I'm not quite sure that it hinges upon that, but we shall see. If it did, wow. If it did, wow, that scares me. If NPC AI performance currently in the game actually hinged into the calculations of NPC behavior. See, I don't think it does, and I'll tell you why. Because the Quanta is the calculation, and as Tony had explained in the presentation, the calculation happens without manifesting the physicality of the NPC object, of the actual character. That shit happens without it really being there, like physicality wise. When you get into the area of the calculation of the Quanta, only then will they manifest. And that is why I think that those aren't necessarily linked together, RJ. But I think that's something that I still think that's worth looking into, because that could change. That could be a game changer for the economy. And that is a wonderful, wonderful look into like what could be a potential problem for the economy. But I don't think so. Let's see here. W. Allen says performance in the first, because if there is not made better, all the rest does not matter. Okay. Mr. Plastic Fantastic. What's going on, my friend over in China? How you doing, bro? Mr. Plastic Fantastic has a difficult life. I remember talking to Mr. Plastic Fantastic, super nice dude. And he was talking about how difficult it is right now for him to live in China. And I felt for him, man. I felt for him. We were talking about these cameras they have and how they can basically look through if they've got those masks that you see some people wearing over there in China. They're scared ever since that avian flu, that bird flu. You'll see like a lot of people wearing these masks. Also, the pollution is absolutely horrible and unregulated over there. The government does nothing for them in terms of pollution. They're getting better. Honestly, they're getting a lot better. But Plastic Fantastic telling me about the hardships. And sorry, I hope this doesn't get him in trouble. But anyway, wish I could split votes. I voted for exploration content. What, in my opinion, includes the full scale of scanning detection mechanics. I know it's nothing without proper performance increasements. Hope all is well, my friend. So, yeah. Dark Side 6 official. Why not all of them? They have the money and the team to do it. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Flex says, sometimes we have Chinese tourists with those face masks here in the Czech Republic. Yeah, man. It just becomes second nature. You know, it just becomes second nature for a lot of the Chinese population. They just get accustomed to wearing it, so they wear it everywhere. Havoc Ludes. What's up, Havoc? I've seen you around hardcore, bro. I want to add a fifth option. Well, there are 5 options, buddy. Drinking a little too much, Havoc. There were 5 options there. Maybe he's saying a 6th. Maybe that's what he's saying. More gameplay systems such as salvage, fuel proper multi-crew, and repair. They do it to avoid germs as well. Yes, because as I had mentioned, Buzz, they were worried about the I think it all started with that avian flu, that bird flu. I think that's when you started to see more people wear those. So anyhow, we're almost at the end, guys. Holy God, if you guys have been here this whole time, you guys are amazing. Let's see. I'm interested. Wow, 26 of you still in stream. 28 now. And you've stuck around with me. That is hardcore. First off, before I read these last 2 comments here, because we are at the very end, let me just give a golf clap for my family that stuck around here for this whole discussion. I love these community events. These community events are possibly one of my favorite things that I do here on the stream for, you know, shipping it off to YouTube as a video. And I love being here for them. This one was grueling. Let me say, I try to make it as fun as possible, Eagle. But this one, woo, to get through, I think we had like 50 or 60 comments. We keep getting more and more, and I will continue to focus on the fact that every one of your comments will be read. I want that to happen. So there's going to be a point at which we get so large that I'm going to have to make a cutoff. I'm just going to have to make a cutoff point, but I hate to do that. I don't want to put limitations to these discussions. I think it's important that we talk about the things. I think our voice is very important. So it's of top priority that I continue to do community videos like this to get your guys' voice out there. And, you know, you're going to share it. If you think what we're talking about is important, you're going to share it. This is a topic that is important to me and to many others because it's asking you as a gamer, what is your favorite aspect, or what is your top priority in getting things done in this game? Like in terms of the progress, in terms of the development, what is your top number 1 priority for you as the gamer playing the game? And that's, I do not see people talking about it. Not like this. Not this detailed. Not in depth like this. And yeah. It's awesome. It's awesome. So let's see here. Let's finish this up, guys. Let's finish it up. We are at the very end here. Get a really perfect flight mechanic, says Lars, and lose a speed cap in space already. Oh, we talked about that, Lars. I hope you saw that. I that was the old realism versus gameplay argument. And we talked about that, Lars. So I hope that you are still watching this video on YouTube. And yeah. Tex. Oh my God, Tex. Look at you. Tex, would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Tex, this is the smallest comment that I've ever seen from you. Usually Tex has paragraphs. And usually Tex is a little temperamental. And I love Tex, and he knows it. But Tex, 2 words. This is, I'm dreaming. Hold on, I'm pinching myself. Hold on. Nope, I'm here. Wow. Tex, first off, let me just say bravo to you. This is impressive. This shows evolution. This shows evolution to me, Tex. I love it. I have hope for humanity now. Tex says diverse results. I'm amazed. I'm giving you an A+. I'm giving you an A+. I'm giving you an A+. Congratulations, Tex. Tex, this isn't Tex. This is either I'm dreaming or this is an imposter. I'm just joking with you, Tex. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for your involvement here today on this community vid, this community stream. I appreciate it. Let's go over those results real quick. Let's update like we do at the end. Look at all these comments we went through, guys. Look at the comments that we went through here. Amazing. I'm sorry that you feel like you weren't involved at all, Jeff. I apologize to you if you feel like you weren't involved in it. I had to do the best I could do, buddy. I'm going to end it on a down note, man. Now it's like, what a way to end it, Jeff. Jeff, take a cue from Tex, will you, Jeff? I feel like that fucking Jeff just edited terrible for me. I'm sorry, and I apologize for the way Jeff just ended this video, everybody. Diverse result. I love you, Jeff. Jeff, that was hilarious. Okay, I feel better now. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff, for bringing us back up. So let's refresh here and let's see where we're at. I'm sure we maybe got 1 or 2 additional votes. And we are at, oh my God. Yeah, we got another almost 20 votes here. And yes, you did bring it full circle. We have 20. We're still tied in all categories. Even with the additional votes, we're still tied. So exploration was in first place. Tied for second was better overall performance, SOCS, and AI improvements, game development and design and coding. And it tied for third place was better flight mechanics, physics, flight ready ships, and that deals with the game dev, and more players per server, dealing with server meshing. What a day today. Man, guys, thank you for joining us here, and put your comments down below in the vid. If you reached the end of this video, you are definitely a hardcore fan of this channel here. I appreciate you. Thanks for joining us on DG360, and I will see you guys on the next vid.